Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting of Logan County Commissioners a special meeting to order. Today is April 26th. It's 9 a.m. And I'd like for you to please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right. Item 3, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 4, consideration of possible action to approve title sheet for Coltrane Road Project Phase 3. We're supposed to have with us our engineers, Dale Burke and Stephen Frost from Infrastructure Solutions Associates. Oh, they're here right now. Hi, come in. We just got to your part in the... All right. So item 4, consideration of possible action to approve title sheet for Coltrane Road Phase 3. So what's the title sheet do for us again?
The title sheet just shows that y'all looked at the design and you're ready to submit that to ODOT, local government.
Okay. Would that be in conjunction with the item 5? We've got the right-of-way affidavit and utility affidavit. So those three are all tied together. So before we take action on item 4, gentlemen, if you don't mind, if we jump down to item 5, I think is where we need to have a bit of discussion and get things cleared up on the right-of-way. Without objection, we'll do that.
No problem.
Okay. So item 5, consideration of possible action on right-of-way and utility affidavit for Coltrane Road Phase 3. Stephen, we had a little bit of a, I guess, misunderstanding on your email that you wrote back on Friday, April 9th, where you said you attached utility encroachment affidavit. We're unable to get a hold of Melissa to see if the 3 right-of-way parcels have been purchased or what it would take to quickly purchase those parcels.
Right. We'd never gotten confirmation that those parcels were purchased, but we did get confirmation from ODOT and from Coates Field Services. They got with us. They got us their acquisition list. I guess they did all 5 miles of right-of-way acquisition at the same time. So finally did get confirmation on that.
So the 3 parcels in question, they were already part of the initial plan?
Yeah, they were part of that. It looks like they did right-of-way acquisition when it was all 5 miles under the same phase. We just never got any confirmation that all those were purchased. We had only gotten confirmation for the north 4 miles. And I said, hey, we're outside of, our toes are outside of the limits of construction in 3 places for culverts. We need to know before we recommend that you sign that all right-of-way encroachments are clear with those.
Okay.
So the project is shovel-ready?
Well, that's what we've been told for several years, that the project was shovel-ready. So where the misunderstanding came in, I believe, was when we were talking about the 2 lanes with the 2 feet or 3 feet.
You would still use the parcels if you went with that design option, because your toes were still outside of limits of construction at those 3 places. But those parcels were purchased because either design, those you need that right away. But that's been addressed.
So the right-of-way parcels that you brought up previous that affected the 2-lane.
They still affected. They affected either design, whether we do shoulders and ditches or whether we did curb and gutter.
Right, but so that wasn't really an issue that had already been purchased.
Right.
Even for the 2-lane, there wasn't a problem.
There wasn't any additional right-of-way that needed to be purchased.
Okay, I think that's where the confusion came in.
Right.
Let me bring up one other point. I think the right-of-way issue, okay, we just discussed that, and I think we're good there. However, I do think we got a utility issue. Okay? I found an email in 2015 where we asked ONG to go out there and verify 2 service lines. I can't find anything in the email that tells that they ever addressed it. Now, that don't mean they didn't, okay? But I need verification before I tell you that everything is clear.
So we can't sign off, we shouldn't sign off on this today. So 2015, I mean, really?
2015, yes.
Oh, and we've
Six
waited,
years ago.
We've waited till now to figure out that we probably need to go back and touch base with them.
Commissioner, they probably did, okay? I was not involved in the utility side of it back then, okay? And all I'm trying to do is get confirmation. I ain't saying it didn't get done, I'm saying I don't have confirmation that it did get done. And I called OG&E or ONG, and they said, yeah, they remember those two service lines, and they remember sending somebody out there, but he don't recall what was the final solution either. And I said, can you go back in your emails and check? And he said all of our emails get automatically deleted after 18 months.
So what do we need to do to make sure?
I just need to talk to, he was out at Western Oklahoma, and I just got, it was spotty calls going back and forth. I need to talk to ONG.
Well, can we not go ahead and sign the title sheets, Marvin, and contend against this
Well,
is done?
I think the title sheets and the right-of-way and utility affidavits all are tied together. I think it all basically says we're ready to go. It doesn't sound like we are.
We might be, we just don't know.
That's the challenge that I've got, right? So, I mean, if the board wants to sign this contingent upon, so if we do that, then what happens if they find out that those utilities haven't been moved or in conflict?
Is that part of what we got into with the other utility?
Absolutely it is, yes. Oh, it was high pressure gas lines up on that north 2 miles that caused us to delay that probably 4 years.
So this guy's in Western Oklahoma today? you said?
He's just in there today, yes. His name is Keith Ward. And he's supposed to send me the contractor that went out there. What do we do at this point? I won't know until I touch base with them.
So if we don't sign today and we've got a timeline for ONG, how does this affect our letting? Are we still inside of that
We're still inside the 60
60 days?
So we have another meeting scheduled for Friday, right? And we've still got time to put that on the agenda. So I think that's what we probably should do. Can you have an answer by Friday?
I will have a direction by Friday, yes.
So Chairman, if we do this just as a take no action meeting at all, then I'll just put these on as new items on the new agenda for Friday.
Right, so we'll take, we're taking no action on item 4 and 5. I mean, we're already here, we're already having a meeting, so we might as well go through the end of it. Yeah, I mean, short of an objection or Monty, if you,
I'm good, I'm not even opposed to recessing until tomorrow if you wanna, if you can find out by tomorrow.
I'll be able to talk to him by tomorrow. If we already have a meeting Friday, it gives me all week.
Okay.
Without talking to ONG, I don't know. I just don't know. I do know that Jim Massey and Bobby Kenish, both of them talked to him at that point, okay? So I feel that, in fact, I got an all clear from Jim Massey that all the utilities were good. But I don't want the same thing to happen on the northern part. I want to convince myself that everything's good, if that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
So you'd prefer Friday rather than us having another special meeting tomorrow?
That gives me more time. I could have the information by this afternoon, but I'd hate for y'all to call a special meeting tomorrow and I don't have the information yet.
Okay.
And Friday is what? What day is Friday?
30th.
So,
That still puts us in the ODOT's window for July let, because that's, we're still within that 60 days that
we did.
we have.
And we can, if we decide that those service lines do need to be lowered, the affidavits allow you to say those will be done by a certain point. So it just give me some time to work the issue out. I didn't, and I apologize, I didn't find that email until Friday morning, and we've been working since then. Nobody works on Friday
We do.
but me and Stephen.
So that we,
Yeah.
So no action on 4 and 5?
that's what I'm proposing, sir, short of,
I'm in favor.
all right.
I will say.
All right, then, move on to item 6, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none. Item 7, announcements, comments, questions by the Board of County Commissioners.
I got a couple of questions, and I ask y'all, on these fracture critical bridges that the county has, ODOT hires bridge inspectors to inspect them. Is there not an Oklahoma-based company that's qualified to inspect them bridges?
What ODOT did is they went through, well, back probably 6 years ago, they pre-approved companies to do it, and we were on there, and they did not select us to get on the pre-approved. And there was 3 other companies that was on there. There was Oklahoma companies that was not pre-approved, and I haven't seen that list since then. I did not agree with what they did, but it is what it is.
Well, you know, I kind of got an issue with it. They're spending our tax dollars, and they're paying companies out of Ohio and
City and
everywhere else.
Yep.
How come we're not spending our tax dollars in Oklahoma if we can?
You're preaching to the choir right here. I didn't know why they just didn't leave it up to the elected officials to select a company to do it. But that's
So I got these 3 bridge inspections here on some of my bridges. They email it to you, then they send me a title sheet, wanting me to sign this title sheet saying that I completely understand everything that they typed on this. You know, like our local people that does our inspections, I mean, we sit down face to face, go through page by page, and I just don't think that's right. And I certainly don't like spending our tax dollars in Ohio when we could spend them right here in Oklahoma. And I'd rather spend them in Logan County, but if we don't have no one in Logan County, I'd then go to the state of Oklahoma first.
Sure. And I don't know if there's any fracture critical inspectors in Oklahoma left or not. I haven't looked at that list. We can do some research and see.
Well, it just,
I don't have a problem doing that.
just a burr underneath my saddle fan, that's all.
So what you're saying is, you don't know if there's any Oklahoma companies on the ODOT approved list to do fracture critical inspections?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's all I got, Marvin, not
Yeah.
quit whining.
No, it's not whining, sir. It's like, you're just pointing out that we're free to choose anybody that's on ODOT's list that they put on there to do business with Oklahoma, with the Ark County.
I don't have anything, just, we discussed everything that I was wondering about.
Okay. The only thing I would do is encourage y'all to communicate a little closer with either Commissioner Ellis or myself when things change. Sure. On our construction issues like this. Would have been nice to know this Friday when you knew it.
I apologize. I will keep everybody informed.
All right. All right, anything else, guys?
That's it for me.
All right, thank you. Item 8, consideration of possible action on adjournment.
I'll move with you.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thank you.